Good morning, traders. This is Michael coming to you from GammaEdge on Tuesday, December 5th. We're going to do a quick pre-market morning strategy and briefing session. We'll go ahead and jump right into it with the SPX PM settled. SPX PM settled. We are call dominated heading into today with the PM settled. Obviously, transition very narrow, a little bit wider, but very narrow and constructive and well defined to the downside. Index obviously 45.50. That's extreme or important level we were watching yesterday. We posted about multiple times in the room. Really the lower bounds of that trading range that we've been looking at. 45.90 the upside, and then obviously 4600. So in the money calls below us dominated, and now the money calls, which is constructive, and we see the price action really constructive from yesterday. Even though we did have a gap down, we recovered that levels below us pretty nicely. COTMP 0 GEX was down below us really across multiple expiries, which held quite nicely and moved back to the upside. Obviously seeing a little bit more, seeing some morning market weakness, so we'll see how we handle that today. But again, 45.50 to the downside will be extremely important. You see the gamma trails off pretty quickly as we get below really that 45.30, kind of 45.25 is an important level to the downside, so we'll watch that. And then obviously moving to the upside, we have multiple areas to get up towards that 4600. Plus one DT, really the same transition, but we do lower it down just a little bit to 45.45, and then we see that index move down to 45.30, which is still very constructive below us. Call dominated above and below spot price. Then we see PGEX 45.75, which is kind of really where we just got back to yesterday, as that gap down level. And then we saw some weakness and then moved back towards that 45.75. So still constructive in the overall look. We do see some opportunistic out of the money puts below us. We may capture those to the downside, see a little bit weakness, and then we'll see if these in the money calls are supportive below us. So we'll go and look at the balance of the week. Balance of the week heading into Friday here with SPX PM settled. Transition still really stays the same. We see index about the same, PGEX about the same. So really no change. Again, call dominated above and below spot price. So really just kind of pair of twos. We're kind of just stuck within this overall range. Even though we are call dominated, we really don't see us moving significantly higher, really within this overall constructive price range that I can see. I'll go ahead and look at the SPX combo complex. Well, that's coming up. We'll go ahead and go over the trading view tick. Tick US still constructive. We did see the shortest term moving average, or bolded CT, stay above the shortest term moving average yesterday. New highs still continue to outpace new lows. Filtered tick was really non-existent. Sellers to the downside, even though we did see just a little bit. And then cumulative tick almost finished back towards zero. So still constructive for me. Positive slopes, red below cyan, and the short term moving average is really just moving sideways on the US. ARCX, positive slopes, red and cyan. Red's above cyan, so market model is still on. The shortest term moving averages still have a slight positive slope, trying to move sideways a little bit. We did actually just eke out a close above the previous day close, which is still positive and a continuation day. So make sure you understand those triggers as we head into today. So really just constructive for me overall sideways price action. We'll go ahead and jump back to the SPX combo complex. All expiries turned on. We are still call dominated. You can see really call domination up and down the net deltas there. Significant calls in the money calls below us, really all the way down to 4,500. Again, 45.25 will be important. We do see that transition widen out significantly all the way down to 45.40. So we keep that in the range of possibilities, even though it's a little bit farther range for me that we would move down significantly below 4,500 unless we see a complete structural change of this call domination so far. Zero DTE transition really is about the same as the SPX PM settled. So really that 45.50 to the downside will be extremely important. Call dominated above and below spot price, and then up to 4,600. Plus one DTE, we do see a little bit of erosion of the in the money calls below us. We see some out of the money opportunistic speculative puts to the downside there. We'll see if we get down and capture those. That would give us that 45.25, 45.30 that I've spoke about. That's an important TA level we'll look at here in just a second. So TA level, obviously heading into today, 45.45 0 GEX. Obviously this may change right at the open, 10 a.m. run or pre-market, so we'll make sure we check that out. But then this low right here, 45.38, extremely important. If you scroll back, really that's kind of been the lower bounds of this range since last Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, and the upper side I've been watching that 45.75 to 45.80, and we did hit 45.99, which is almost 4,600. So overall, Again, still constructive, lower bounds here we'd be watching, even if we tested down towards that 45.25, which is kind of what I was discussing in GEX down there, really would be still very constructive on the shorter term time frames, and really on the middle to longer term time frames, just overall consolidation that's still being developed. Really, the daily time frame, again, we've had that large move up, and then now we're just constructively consolidating here as we start preparing for December OPEX in another week or so. So make sure you're understanding where we're at in the overall market structure, where we're at in the range, and then how the tick cumulative continues to look. Still constructive. If we did see a quick failure of the bolded CT move over the moving averages, then I would probably change my stance a little bit to just a little bit more cautious and look for a little bit more downside, which would be opportunistic. Still looking to get involved on the long side if the CT stays constructive and the overall market structure stays constructive. So hope that helps. Let's make it a great Tuesday. Be in the Discord in a few minutes. Our team's still traveling a little bit, so we'll be back to normally scheduled programming on Wednesday or early Thursday. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you in a few minutes.